how you describe your reality is what creates your reality, not vice versa. You are not objectively describing the truth. You are actually creating the truth. Words are literally your magic wands. That's why we call it spelling, because you are casting a spell on yourself and creating a story that you are then going to live into as though it is true. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The words you use to describe a problem are creating the problem. The problem itself is just a mental construct, which is why the skills of emotional sobriety are so essential, so that you can learn the difference between objective reality, them's just the facts, the circumstances, which are always neutral. They're not good or bad or right or wrong. They just are what they are. You have to learn to tell the difference between objective facts and then the story you're telling yourself about those facts, what you're making them mean, how you expect them to be different, and therefore this is a problem. And I will remind you that the mindset that sees something as a problem cannot solve that problem, because it is the mindset that is creating the problem. The solution to every problem is to ask a higher level question, look at things from a different perspective, examine the story or the framework subconscious beliefs that are causing you to make certain assumptions. It is the mind that makes the problem. It makes a neutral circumstance into a problem by injecting meaning and beliefs onto it. And that is why the entire sober industry is completely missing the mark, where you're trying to solve a drinking problem by focusing on the drinking problem, by doubling down on the belief that you can't control yourself, by doubling down on the belief that alcohol has power over you and that you really love to drink. I can tell you, you don't actually love to drink. Your body 0% of the time enjoys drinking beyond the biphasic limit. Your body does not enjoy being numb and dumb and dehydrated with high levels of cortisol and loss of motor skill and function and a lack of sharpness and clarity with your mind. Your body does not actually enjoy that. You just are in the habit of thinking that you like to drink. And so that is the problem. The mind that says, I love to drink and I can't stop once I start, and I need alcohol to shut down my mind. Those beliefs are the problem. This is not about the alcohol. Alcohol has nothing to do with it. You're trying to cope with an emotional problem, a mindset problem, and you've just learned how to solve those problems with alcohol. And now you're in the habit of believing that alcohol solves problems. And then also alcohol is a problem, which is a hamster wheel in hell. Alcohol is the solution to your problem, and alcohol is the problem. I mean, you can't think your way out of that particular thinking problem. So when you believe that your drinking behaviors should have changed and they have not changed, it is because you are still under the magic spell of the words that are telling you that this is about the alcohol and that you still like to drink more than you should. So let's talk about the term I should be, air quotes around should be, farther along than I am with my progress, with my change. Should be is shit. Shoulds are shit. There's no such thing as should be. Should be explains that you have a mindset or expectations. You have an idea of how things should be, should look, should work. And that is not matching your experience in reality. But what I will tell you 100% of the time is you cannot change what doesn't actually exist. You cannot change until you start working with what is and stop arguing with whatever you think should be. Until you accept reality as it is, you cannot change that reality. And I want to just kind of hit the pause and do an examination of the thought that I should be farther along. That is a mindset that is creating a problem.